Hey, thanks for watching Numbskull News. And today we're going to talk about something that's pretty disgusting. Mr. Jake Retzlaff has now been accused of assault of the worst kind. And I would not be making a video about this, just to put it out there right up front. I would not be making a video about this if this was a criminal case. I may touch on it on a live stream or something like that, but I wouldn't go deep into anything because I don't feel it's my place. But when it's civil action and the preponderance of evidence isn't necessary in a civil action, then, now it's in the court of public opinion. Essentially, that's what a lawsuit does. It puts it in the court of public opinion. So we're going to talk about it. I don't know why it's not a criminal case. I haven't heard anything on that, on why charges weren't brought. So I guess that's what we will eventually find out, is why that didn't happen. Now, she did accuse the police of the Provo police of telling her, hey, y'all never get justice anyway, don't worry about it. And another woman has come forward, not about Jake Retzlaff, but about the Provo police essentially shooing her away after her assault. Reputation of the Provo police right now isn't looking great. Just not saying all of them, but there's a few of them in there that it just, I'm not saying it's true, but this is what allegations do. And another thing I want y'all to understand on how I feel about assault cases like this. I believe in expanding capital punishment to include not just murder, but those individuals capable of assault like that. And because, I have loved ones that have faced that, victims of that. So that's how I feel about it. That if you're capable, then you don't need to be on this earth anymore. That's how I feel about it. So I just want everyone to understand, I'm serious when it comes to this topic. And on this channel, I don't really broach a lot of serious things. But I think it's fair because this man is innocent until proven guilty. But there's no criminal charges, no criminal case. This is a civil case. So on its face, it's less serious. That's what it's about, money, essentially. So, and I'm not saying she's just going after money. I'm not saying that. Okay? But a lawsuit is different than a criminal case. Hence, I'm making the video. Now we're going to get into her side of the story. And it does leave me with some questions. I'm just saying. It's fair in a lawsuit accusation kind of thing, no criminal charges, to question. We've seen too many times women come forward, whether it's politicians or the Duke lacrosse team, you name it, and then these guys get dragged through the mud only to find out that there was a lie. But it's too late, damage done. So it's fair to go into her accusation, what she said happened that has been made public through a lawsuit, and kind of think what we're going to think about it. Okay? So, and if you're not interested at all, I understand. To me, I am very, very big, though, on you're innocent till proven guilty in a court of law. Until a jury of your peers says you're guilty, then you're not guilty. That's the Constitution. That is the law of the land. That's the freedom we enjoy and we all deserve. So this is the accusation. This is what's going to be dragging him through the mud. It may even cost him his spot there at BYU. That's how serious it is. So, let's take a look at what she said. According to the lawsuit, Doe and Retzlaff, 21, connected over social media the month prior, and Retzlaff invited the woman to his apartment on or around November 22nd, 2023. Doe and her friend arrived at the apartment in the evening and went to Retzlaff's room to play video games. Okay, so far, all of that sounds legit. A lot of people meet over social media, went to the house, brought a friend, all right, smart to bring a friend, and then played video games. All, as far as people of that age nowadays, all of that seems very legit, no problem. Doe spoke to Ratliff's friends and teammates while playing, according to the suit. Later, her friend left the apartment, and Doe stayed to continue hanging out with Retzlaff. Now, essentially what happened here, what this sounds like to me, because they're using, of course, Jane Doe. They don't want to release her name publicly. Okay. I have no problem with that right now. I have no problem with that right now. Her name will come out as if this thing moves into, into court. So, but it sounds like to me that she was having a lot of fun. She wanted time alone with Retzlaff. That's why she was cool with her friend leaving. She probably asked her friend to leave. She said the two watched a movie and kissed, but that she tried to de-escalate the situation and attempted to slow things down, trying to pull away and saying, wait. Now, I by the way, that doesn't sound like a lie to me. There was, when I was a young man, before I was married, had my own apartment, had a lady come over, a friend, and, kind of seeing her a little bit. And, we got into things, and she's like, not right now. There's this, whatever, the timing wasn't good, not right now. And of course, everything stopped. And by the way, we had zero clothes on. I'm just saying. All right, and guys, you may think it's unbelievable, but I don't care. When it's like, hey, I can't, or wait, or stop. You gotta stop. I mean, that's just, and it happens so often to women. They go in there, they think they want to do something, they get into it, and this isn't for me right now. This is bad timing, whatever. And then the guy doesn't stop. All right. Always hear a lot of times that kind of very thing happens. So none of this is out of, like, it doesn't make sense. All of this makes sense. Okay, so I'm not saying she's lying about any of this. I don't know. But it all makes logical sense that this could happen. Anyway, he wouldn't stop. He attempted to touch her, and the lawsuit alleges that Retzlaff continued to escalate the interaction. All right. This has happened, whether it's college, high school, adults, stuff like this has happened before. When Doe tried to move away, saying no and wait, stop, Retzlaff continued to force himself on her when the woman reacted in a way that angered Retzlaff. He yelled at her. Okay. All right, but apparently he did stop. This is the weird thing. This is where it gets a little weird for me. So he did stop, and he yelled at her. All right. Those kind of things happen too. And look, if you have a son, a grandson, whatever, please have a talk with him. If the young lady, and he may, okay, she wants to stop, but, get the hell out of my car, or get the hell out of my apartment, screw you, and get all pissed at her, be a gentleman. Be a gentleman, always be a gentleman. And those times, it could be tough. It's disappointing that stuff isn't going to happen, but there's no need to make her feel bad about it. Okay, and every guy out there who has a daughter or a granddaughter would agree, be a gentleman. So I don't know if he yelled at her or not or any of that. I'm just saying, all of this right now sounds like something that could have happened. All of this sounds believable. Doe tried to call a friend, but her phone was dead. Okay, young woman, let her phone die. I mean, that can happen. That absolutely can happen. She moved to the side of his bed, plugged her phone in, and waited for it to recharge. Okay, this is where I have a problem. This is where I have a problem. All right, they started kissing. He started taking it further than she wanted to go. And at first, he wouldn't stop. He kept going, trying to touch her in different places she didn't want to be touched. And finally, she got him to snap out of it. I don't know what her reaction was or action was to get him to stop, but he stopped and he yelled at her. He got pissed off. And so she looked at her phone. It was completely dead. Do I believe it was completely... It could have been, but that's still a little strange. Why would you leave the house with an absolutely dead phone? You know, weird things happen, I suppose. You know, you left your camera on or you touched something and it was on the whole time you're playing video games and it died. Maybe, but it's kind of weird to leave the house with a dead phone. You know, but it's not out of the realm of possibility. I know that. But it says she moved to the side of his bed, plugged in her phone, and waited for it to recharge. I would think you actually got him to stop. You're probably going to leave. Why would you plug in your phone? You know, and if he's this assaulting bastard, why is he letting you screw with your phone anyway, like you're going to call somebody? That's what doesn't make sense. Now, another crazy thing. Retzlaff fell asleep while Doe's phone was charging. He took a nap. He took a nap? That doesn't make any sense unless he's literally insane. But when she tried to get out of bed to leave, he woke up, pushed her back down on the bed, and started forcibly kissing her. And that's when all the shit and the more graphic details start up. Okay, everything about her story is 100% believable until she tried to call her friend. The phone was dead. She moved to the side of the bed, plugged in her phone, and waited for it to recharge. And that's when Retzlaff, who just got through screaming at her, yelling at her, they weren't drinking, they weren't partying, none of that. They were playing video games. And he just fell asleep. Like he just lost interest in trying to assault somebody and falls asleep. But when she tried to get out of the bed, he woke up like some serial killer in a movie and had at her. I don't know. I don't, like I said, it's a red flag. It's weird. It's weird that he would just fall asleep. It's weird that a guy who's planning to assault you and has it within him to assault you is going to allow you to pick up your phone and call your friend after he's done yelling at you because you stopped him. And he's going to allow you to plug in the phone and wait for it to charge. See, that's the problem. So she tried to call a friend. Well, if you're just going to call a friend, you're just going to plug in your phone, why didn't you call her? But once you try to get out of the bed to leave, why didn't you try to leave before? Like he fell asleep. I don't know, why did you even try to plug your phone in? That's what... None of this makes... I'm sorry, a lot of that, it's a big red flag for me. I don't know. And look, I understand some of y'all may think this is in poor taste and all that, but the reason I'm even highlighted any of that and went through it, okay, is because this kid, this man, young man here, he deserves his day in court, but he's not going to get a day in court. He's going to get a day or however many days of lawsuit court. Like I said, the preponderance of evidence is not required for that to be found liable by by this court, and it's no jail time. There's nothing on his record, but she can win this lawsuit with not a lot. Now, to win a criminal case, it takes more evidence, a lot more, and it sucks. It's something, assault in that nature. It's hard to prove in court, so I kind of get it a little bit. I'm not totally jumping on the, well, it's not a criminal case, she's just after the money. I'm not doing that. But the young man, despite the allegation, deserves people to look at the allegation and think for themselves. That's it. So I went through that allegation about as much as I'm going to go through it. That was the main part there. The first part of it makes total sense, logical sense. Yeah. But that second part, the part that you really need it to make sense, didn't make sense. Two people start kissing. The guy starts getting aggressive, thinking, hey, all right, we're going to do this. And then she's like, I don't want to go that far right now. And then he keeps going. That's a very unfortunate story that happens to a lot of women in this country. In multiple countries. I shouldn't just put that on America. It happens a lot all over the world. And it's horrible. It sucks. It needs to stop. I don't know if it ever will. But a man overpowering a woman, unfortunately, that has been a thing for the history of this of humans. So all of that is perfectly believable until it gets to, okay, your phone's dead. Try to call your friend. Phone's dead. You're just going to plug it in and wait very uncomfortably in this bed as Retzlaff falls asleep. So he stopped trying to assault you, let you phone a friend, can't phone a friend because your battery's dead. You plug it up, you wait, he takes a nap. Once your phone is done charging, then you go to get up, and then he all of a sudden wakes up and then assaults you. Like, why didn't he assault you before while the battery was dead? That doesn't make a lot of sense to me. That's weird. Maybe I could buy it if he was drunk, really high. I mean, not even really high, but drunk, maybe. But I don't know. A lot of that is just, I can't call her a liar. But like I said, this is an allegation in a lawsuit form. So I went through it. I told you what looks plausible and what looks a little murky. There is some murkiness. That's all I'm going to say. And Mr. Retzlaff, I'm sorry, he deserves people to look at the allegation. If something looks a little weird, looks a little off, it's okay to comment on that. I'm not calling her a liar. I'm just saying it looks weird. It's kind of a proverbial red flag. I'm sure her lawyers, I don't know. Maybe her lawyers don't care. Oh, all that seems perfectly whatever. I don't know. That's the weird part. That's all I'm going to say. It's the weird part. So, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if old Jake is going to get shit canned out of there or not. I don't know. Does he deserve to? I don't. BYU has different kind of rules. The honor code. I don't know how all that falls. I don't know how it works. I'm not a Mormon. I never went to BYU, so I don't know. But I'm hoping for the best for this guy and for her. Just because I know what that can. I mean, not personally know, but I know what that can do to somebody, and it's a scar that with you for the rest of your life. And I don't wish that on anybody. Even if she's a dirty liar, I'd rather her be a dirty liar than be telling the truth. For her sake, not for Jake Retzlaff's sake, for her sake. So, I'm going to go ahead and leave it at that. There's not a lot to add. Don't. There's no speculation here. So, I just wanted to go through it a little bit. I thought the accused deserves everybody to look at it and come to their own conclusions, because everyone's going to anyway. All right, that's our culture. People, once it gets put out there, people are going to have an opinion on it. So hopefully I broke it down the best I could and was fair to her and fair to him. There you go. Thanks for watching this crap, and I'll be back with some more crap later. Bye.